Welcome to the beautiful game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris
Hola.
and Ron.
What's happening?
Oh, and tonight we got some things to talk about.
Boy, do we.
We go, oh my gosh, the topics are last week's Premier League title race was on, but this week after Liverpool's draw with Tottenham, is it still? I think so. Two, New Orleans is New Orleans. I read that instead of new owners. Why did you capitalize owners? New
To emphasize.
at Chelsea watch on as their new $5 billion plus purchase concedes a 97-minute goal to squander a 2-goal lead over the Wolves. Woo, that was a rough one. And number three, Arsenal beat Leeds, and with a win on Thursday against their rivals Tottenham, they could return to the Championship League for the first time since 2016-2017 season. And then last for the Premier League, we're going to talk about Watford joining Norwich in relegation. But who's going to be third? Ooh, it might not be somebody blue. We'll talk about it. And then we're going to check in with Ron as he regales us with more pleasuring stories of sours in this edition of Ron's Sour Beer News.
Gross.
And then we'll get a little La Liga's roundup to wrap things up. But first things first, it is the beautiful game. That means beer first, soccer second.
Yes.
So who's up first for the beer?
You go.
Okay. Have we had beer from the company Clown Shoes before?
Ooh.
Clown Shoes? No.
I've had stuff from them before, but I don't know if you've ever had it on
it hasn't been on the pod yet.
Yeah.
All right. Forgive me. I'll probably drop off the camera there for a second as I pull up my information here. So I'll do the Clown Shoe story. It started in 2009, Clown Shoe Brewery. Founder and CEO, they brewed a small batch of Hoppy Feet Black IPA with some Ipswich Ale Brewing, and they liked it so much they started just going crazy and getting collaborating with head brewer Dan Lipke to make a ton of fun and different beers. In 2017, they joined in and I did not know this, the employee-owned Massachusetts Bay Brewing Company, which those are the guys that brew Harpoon and UFO beers, very tasty beers. And with greater resource capabilities, they're cranking out tons of new beer, but specifically the one that I'm having, and gentlemen, I'm gonna send this to our chat thread real quick because I need you to check out their website as I send it to you. And it's not even their website. I mean, it's their website, but the one for this beer, it's animated and it's awesome.
Space Cake.
So,
jeez.
The beer I'm having is their Space Cake Double IPA. It's this, and their cans line up. They do amazing art. Their cans line up to do this like crazy art they've animated with these guys like in jetpacks out in space with lasers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it says, being pursued by a giant assortment of laser-equipped cupcake spaceships is many things, but it is certainly no time to panic. That's a nice Hitchhiker's Guide Galaxy reference.
Yeah, right.
Miracle Mike and his galactic canine Bionic have been through far worse, and they always seem to find a way past the relentless pursuit of the Space Cakes fleet. The tasting notes of this double IPA feature a robust hop aroma that carry through to a strong, juicy flavors of tropical citrus. A sweet and strong malt backbone pairs with a subtle booziness to make Space Cake an approachable double IPA fit for an extraterrestrial odyssey. 9% ABV with some mosaic and citra hops. Wow. And Ron, if you go to their about story, you'll read some of their stuff. But a beer of theirs I feel like we have to try after we do this. Mm-hmm. They've got a beer called Kung Fu Ballet, a story told in 19.2 ounce chapters. Their artist, he's a dude named Michael Axt, A-X-T. He's been the label designer since 2013, and he does like, I don't want to say comic book art because it's like, it's more painted, you know, it's like pop art, like sci-fi old pop art. But anyway, the cans as they come out each month tell a new story of this Kung Fu Ballet.
This is cool. He's like giant clown shoes with the claws sticking out the bottom of the art. That's cool.
Yeah. So what a cool brewery.
That samurai picture. That samurai picture of him walking up to the brewery with a hat. Oh, that's badass.
Yeah. Clown Shoes Brewery, man. Cool. I'm stoked to try this. I think this is a surprise when my wife got me a ton of different random beers for Easter before we moved. So I had all these beers I hadn't tried yet, of these like one-offs. So this is one of the ones sitting in there waiting to be had. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Awesome.
I just like all their art. How fun.
The art is so freaking good
What's
on
their
all
most
the cans.
What's their most like famous? Like you usually see it everywhere.
I'm actually Space Cake. It says is one of their big ones.
The what one?
The Space Cake one that I'm having is one of the clown shoes.
It's not that.
That's one of the big ones. They have a lot of limited releases, but they're well known for that. This is the way, of course. They've done for the Mandalorian.
I've seen rainbows are real down here.
Maybe that's what it was. I feel like I've seen them a lot of places. Yeah.
And
they've had a ton of different beers. Yeah.
They also look like, so it looks like they've done a complete redesign.
Yes.
For the art on their beers, because
I agree.
It used to be a bunch of it used to be all clowns on,
and very like bright colors.
Yeah. Very circusy.
Yeah. Circusy. Yes. That's what maybe I'm thinking of. But this is definitely more.
Well, now, their new artist came in, and so it's just a bunch of different varieties of art that's up there now. That's all crazy fun stuff. They've got a mango one that looks really good. They've got the Rainbows a Real Hazy IPA, Space Cake Double IPA, and then the Double Farm IPA. I do think their Space Cake though is like one of the more popular ones.
That does sound familiar.
This is awesome. What a good site.
Yeah, man.
Clownshoesbeer.com.
I saw the animated cans. I was like, okay, I got to send that to you guys. That's pretty good.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear your review. 9%. Blake's flying high.
Yes.
Yeah, we're flying a little bit more coach and not so much. Well, but we do have an IPA to match. I don't know if we've ever had this brewery on the pod. I know we've had, like, we've all had the beer. I believe, anyways. But I was traveling from back home from Clearwater and made a pit stop off and was doing the content at a lovely brewery that I do like to frequent when I'm in Tampa called Coppertail Brewing Company.
I had a feeling when I saw your Instagram that you guys are going to have beer from there.
Yeah, and I actually picked up a growler full, but before that, it's Florida-inspired, Tampa Bay brewed, a mysterious sea creature. Dun, 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 dun. The story starts with a 5-year-old girl, owner's daughter, telling tales of enormous creature that she coined, Coppertail. It's found in the waters around Tampa Bay, causing mischief and mayhem for people and sea life alike. The mysterious beast continues to lurk the Tampa waters, only revealing its tail for those who are lucky enough to witness. That just sounds like their homepage of their website.
I'm down.
Fun story.
Yeah. But coppertailbrewing.com, they have a core 4 that I know that we've all seen in stores around here called Unholy, which is an American triple ale.
So good.
Free Dive, which is an IPA. A new one that I think is added to the core 4 that I have not had, Cloud Dweller. It's a hazy IPA, as popular as those have been, especially down here in the past few years. And the Night Swim Porter.
That's a phenomenal one.
Which is quite good. So that's their core 4. What I have today is a currently a taproom exclusive, not even available in cans there. Also, I was going to bring back cans. It is not the sour that I pictured earlier today, but that sour was quite good. Go to our Instagram to kind of view a post about that in our story, which will be up well before you guys listen to, or well before you listen to this pod. But anyways, what I have is a 5.9 ABV American IPA with blood orange and pink pineapple.
Ooh.
Pina Rosada.
Slow down. It sounds so sexy.
Right? Pina Rosada. IPA with blood orange, pink pineapple. So you know what? All right. So you know what actually got me on this?
This just turned into like late night love line.
1-900 Beautiful Game.
All right. Tonight we're gonna have
with
Pina Rosada. No. So what actually caught me is you walk in and they have their bar there, and then their kind of tap list is off to the right, above the bar. And I thought this was honestly a seltzer. I thought it was like a seltzer or a sour of some sort. But when I saw IPA, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so I got that and started the content and was like, damn, this is a really just clean, crisp IPA that drinks more like a lager and not so hoppy forward. And I thought this would be a good one to have on the pod as Ron and I will split this here, their 32-ounce growler.
Nice. I can't wait.
I mean, I may have the 9%, but you got a whole growler, so you know.
Yeah, it's the small growler. It's not the 64-ounce, only the 32-ounce. Shall we?
Awesome. I think we
Let's
should.
do it, gents.
Oh, just the little extra carbonation in there. And I'm going to need it because it's been a depressing week to be a Chelsea fan. Well, for the men.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the description said juicy double IPA.
Yeah.
It smells like I got a can of orange juice in my hand.
Ooh.
Ooh, it is juicy.
I can't wait.
Plus, I can't believe we never had a beer from Clown Shoes, just because that's one of Ron's favorite phrases.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you use that a lot of times when we were on movie sets, right?
In fact, get ready for your bleep sheet, Ron. I'd say for Chelsea this week, it's been fucking Clown Shoes.
Oh, God.
Is this the first time that I'm not the first one to curse on a pod?
Yeah, and it
No,
was me.
probably not.
Yeah, that's one of Ron's favorite phrases on a film set. I love it.
Ron, you might want to take a little.
Oh, yeah, take a sip of that.
Jeez, boy, you top that thing off. I can see that from
Well,
here through the camera.
if these are proper pint glasses, they should be 16 ounces each. According to my math, that should be 32 ounces.
They're not. They're American pints.
Ah,
American pints are 12.
But it has Jing A Brewing on
or not 12. There's 7, 16. I don't know. You're right. It's something different, Ron. Not 12. But I forget what it is. All right, gents.
Cilantro, we kind of have to.
Cilantro, let's do this.
Carefully
Ooh,
about the
that's tasty.
Is it
Oh,
not?
holy. You're spilling all over yourself.
Oh,
God bless it,
ditto
I am.
here, man. This is this Clown Shoes Space Cake Double IPA is so good, and it does not taste like a double. I mean, it's a little boozy on the tongue as an aftertaste, but God, it's good. It's smooth.
This has a lot of it's smooth up front, very little carbonation, and I'll attribute that to it being in the growler. But very little carbonation, massive hop flavor in the aftertaste. But
yeah, much more so than what it came off the tap with when I had it there.
yeah, it's quite good. A bit of caramel notes in there. It's quite tasty.
You taste the blood orange more than you do the pink pineapple. But that pineapple taste is just ever so slightly there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right
This one's
before.
definitely very juicy, but it is it's bitter at the end. Like it surprises you how hoppy it is because it's pretty juicy up front.
And this is much more golden colored than I would have
Right?
expected.
It looks
out
more
of-
like a lager than it does
Yeah.
anything.
Interesting.
I'm not bougie enough to pour into a glass because I'm still sitting in my makeshift studio in our 2-bedroom apartment, which just means I'm sitting on my bed.
Right. Well, hopefully the house hunt goes quickly for you from here on out.
Oh yeah, man! This housing market, it's real easy to find houses. I don't know if you've heard. It's I expect one to fall out of my pocket tomorrow anytime.
Andy M. Just comes down and crushes the wish.
All right, gents, shall we move on to our top 4 headlines?
Let's do it.
So, getting over to the Premier League, as we mentioned earlier, last week's Premier League title race was on, but this week, after Liverpool's draw to Tottenham, is it still Suns' goal in 56-minute silence Anfield crowd? But it was Luis Diaz in the 74th who brought hope back, only for the Spurs to hold out in the end, dealing a 2-point blow to Liverpool as they go neck and neck with Manchester City for the title, following their Champions League crumbling defeat to Real Madrid midweek. City came back to show the other Middle Eastern owners who rules the north of England with a 5-0 win at home on Sunday. It's like they came back from the Real Madrid game really angry.
Yes.
Manchester
most
City
certainly.
currently sit 3 points, 86 ahead of Liverpool at 83 with 3 matches left. So math says no, they're still in this.
True. Math wise.
I I will say this. Yeah, so 3 weeks out. You want my prediction?
Shoot.
Liverpool wins the Champions League. Man City wins the Premier League. And again, Pep cannot snatch the Champions League.
Well, I mean,
he can't. I mean,
he can't regardless right now.
No,
yeah.
But I'm saying like
technically,
he can't snatch it. And not only he can't, but his rivals in the Premier League are going to get it and come in a close second. I mean, right now, anything could go wrong. Liverpool could still win the league. So it's I mean, I'm not saying Pep's bad. He's been a great manager, but that Champions League has been elusive despite how crazy good the bench of Man City is.
Yeah.
And Real Madrid, like they were like what's what I'm looking for? They were like dismiss us at your own peril. Good grief.
Yeah, exactly. And they came back it's just incredible how one moment that Man City switched off, the first goal goes in, and then
momentum just changes.
2 more follows. You see after that first goal goes in that Man City is kind of deflated already. And then for the second one to go in, and then a third in the early part of extra time.
Via Karim Benzema penalty, yeah.
I mean, it was just
See,
they
you
do
say
this,
that,
though.
and that's why I think the race is still on with 3 matches left, because they're great, but they're not flawless this go round. They definitely have some little chinks in the armor there.
But here are their last 3 games in the league. In order, this Wednesday they take on Wolves. By the time you listen to this, you should know the result of that. West Ham.
Wolves took on Chelsea. So don't count them out.
West Ham, and then Aston Villa. So West Ham still fighting for a Europa League spot, and Wolves a little bit more out of it, but still have a little bit of fight in them. And then Villa kind of out of it all and just trying to end the season on a high note. Where you switch over to Liverpool, they have Villa tomorrow, so on Tuesday. So we should obviously know the result by the time you're listening to this. Then they have Chelsea on the weekend, on Saturday. They have Chelsea in the FA Cup final.
Yep.
So that's kind of a sneaky match that is thrown in, because what they basically do now is they go, unlike City, that goes this Wednesday and then Saturday to the following Sunday. Liverpool go this Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, and then Sunday again.
Yeah, that sucks.
Right. And then they finish off with Southampton, who are just anemic as hell right now, and we won't get further into that. And then they have Wolves to end the Premier League on before they then take on the aforementioned Real Madrid in the Champions League final on May 28th.
I think it's still possible.
I think it's possible with the favor going to Man City at this moment, but I still think it's totally possible.
I mean, math tells you it certainly is. But with City not having any other battles to fight on and just the Premier League to think about, that's where I don't think Pep and the team give that up. And honestly, I'm okay with. I don't want to see Liverpool win the treble or even thereabouts. Or the quad, which is still possible for them.
Right. It's the first time in history, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the first time in history that any team has the ability to win the quad at this point in the season.
I'm not sure about
this late, you're correct about that.
Right.
So they beat Chelsea for the EFL Cup, or
the League Cup. Yep, which is the EFL Cup.
Now they're going for the FA. Then they could still win the Premier League and they could win Champions League.
Yeah. Where the treble-winning United side won the FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League.
Right.
So, yeah, it's still possible for them to win the quad, but if what I think is going to be a little bit more difficult for them is that fight with Chelsea on Saturday could redirect their attention from the league. And then they're looking ahead because they finished the Premier League on Sunday. And then that following Saturday, which I think that's the day after you get married, if I'm not mistaken, the 28th.
Yep.
At 3 p.m., Liverpool and Real Madrid in the Champions League on that Saturday. So they really go back to back pretty much here until the end of the season, where Man City only has, this week and then Saturday, and then they're off for a week, and then they have time to prepare. So I think that Tottenham blow was much bigger than, obviously Diaz, getting that goal back and getting them level certainly helped, or else they would have been down by 4 points, and then that point we might go, okay, now it's not so much. But with only being down 3, it's possible. But also keep in mind the goal difference, which is tighter than you think.
Yeah.
But with City putting 5 on Newcastle on the weekend and Liverpool drawing even on that goal difference, that took City 4 points. Or I'm sorry, 4 goals above Liverpool on the goal difference. So that could also play a factor at this point.
And that's
if for some reason City lose completely.
Yeah. That's also, at least for the past 8 or 9 weeks, Liverpool have been ahead in the goal difference.
Yeah. Yep.
By 2 to 3 the entire time.
Exactly.
So this 5-0 win and that drop points is huge.
Yep. Big weekend. This past weekend for the top 2.
Craziness.
It's going down to the wire in more ways than one. Because 3rd and 4th, they ain't decided yet.
We'll get to we'll get there in a little bit.
As we get to number 2, well, this is 3rd right here. Owners of Chelsea watch on as their $5 billion plus purchase concedes a 97th minute goal to squander a 2-goal lead over Wolves, following the late news on Friday that Russian billionaire had finally sold Chelsea FC to an ownership group led by, is it Ted Bailey? Is that
Bowley?
Todd Bowley.
Todd Bowley.
Yep.
And backed by Clear Lake Capital, Chelsea welcomed the new owner and pals at the bridge with a 2-2 crumbling draw. Todd Bowley, who owns stake in the LA Dodgers, LA Lakers, LA Sparks. Hey, Ron, welcome to an LA team owner on your club.
It's going to be an LA Derby.
Watched on from a box in the bridge as his new purchase of more than $5 billion, after it's all said and done, gave up 2 late goals to the Wolves following a quick Romelu Lukaku brace. Romelu Lukaku shows up. The team decided not to.
Right.
Connor Cody's goal of the death in the 97th minute, I should say, put a dent on the expensive purchase. But hey, at least Bowley didn't have to watch Majot on the English Channel with binoculars. Am I right, Chelsea fans? God, I love when Ferris is in a mood writing these. You should drink sours more often when you're writing these.
I don't know quite the right words. How different, awesome, weird, eyebrow raising, Ron, was it to see 2 people that, probably up until this sale you've never seen before, sitting in what was,
who they were,
Abramovich's box, because it looked similar. I mean, I'm sure they all look very similar. But then watching the game and going through like the emotions of if they were fans of the team, and they very well, maybe that's why they bought it. But how weird was that to see?
It was so weird because also they would show during the broadcast, they would show the owners quite often, but also they would show kind of wide shots of them. And those 2 guys, Todd Bowley and Bruce Buck, who looks like he's going to end up being the chairman when this is all finalized.
God, you guys
great. I want your chairman to be named Bruce Buck so bad.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. And our chairman up to the podium, Mr. Buck.
The only thing that would be better is if Ron's chairman was Joe Buck.
Mr. Buck, how was duck hunting last week? Well, in the north of England, there wasn't a whole lot of ducks, but hey, let's talk about our newest transfer target here. Let's Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Is that his name? I have no clue if he's from down south or if he's country, but with a name like Buck,
he's country. Till I hear him talk.
He's country.
Bruce Buck.
Yep.
Yeah. He's got a cowboy hat 10 miles wide and a giant belt buckle that says Buck.
And a stogie just hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah. Yep, that's the story until I'm shown other.
I'm with you.
But those two guys stood out so bad, right? Like every time they cut over to those guys, they were all like half leaned in a chair with their foot up on the armrest of the other chair. And they're just kind of like melted into the seats. And then when Chelsea scored, Bowley pulls out the 2-finger dad whistle, right? And he's like whistling and
come on, son,
Suppose you're saying,
do well.
Ron pulled his face up to his hand to his mouth. I was like, if you tell me he pulled out some chaw, this just got even better.
And then to watch them physically melt when we hemorrhaged 2 goals was very interesting. So I don't know if they're actually fans of the team or not, or what the deal is, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all comes about, and especially to see how the fans react.
Well, as we know, Chelsea fans are pretty level-headed and cool, so they'll give it a chance.
Yeah, just about as good as Manchester United and Arsenal fans.
Yeah, football fans, notoriously patient and level-headed.
Yeah, notoriously.
Easygoing, whatever, we lost, we'll get them next time. Yeah, that's it. So the sale is supposed to be finished by the end of May, which for all intents and purposes is way too late, because until the sale's done, so far, the UK government has not given Chelsea the ability to talk about transfers and things like that. So we're going to be losing players, and we're going to be behind the ball talking with players in order to get them to join the club. And with the current reputation and how things are going, who wants to join the club?
Azpilicueta does. He signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah,
that's 74 and a half years old.
Right. He's in his 80s, and he's going to retire from this.
Well, I thought
team.
you guys were really eyeing Holland, but it looks like he's signed with Man City.
Man.
He's with the big blue evil
Must
empire.
be nice you can buy anything you want.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Well, Manchester United could do it if they were winning.
No, well, but not not at that cost, and what they've had over the course. You have to remember, they also bought $100 million player in Jack Grealish.
Hey, can we pause for a second here?
Yeah.
Because do you know how much they paid for Holland?
70, was it like 75 million or
what did they offer for Harry Kane?
They offered well over
129.
But that's the English premium, which is why you which is why you paid for Jack Grealish at the cost that they did, because he's English and he's young. So therefore you tack another 20 mil on, and then that's your final cost. Now also I believe Holland has a buyout clause that I believe that they also kind of hit.
Yes.
It's going to be.
It's still Harry Kane for 120 million, and now they're going to get, even with a buyout clause, Holland for 60. Being patient paid off.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, Ferris, doesn't that in alone make you want Liverpool to win the league over them?
No, I never want. No.
Seriously?
No, because you could always chalk it up to, okay, well, Man City were absolute squat until they just got bought by oil money and can spend whoever they want. It's that expensive takeover that every club dreams to have. Man City had it before it was popular, actually, before Newcastle came in and did an expensive takeover, and so on and so forth. So all they've done is they've really bought their team. Where what kind of academy players have really come through there? You can name one, Phil Foden, and yes, he's a complete starlet. He's fantastic, but it's okay. They're the PSG of the Premier League. They are the Real Madrid of the Premier League because of just what they can spend and what they can do. Now, the rivalry between United and Liverpool is the biggest over, in my eyes, than what that is over City. Because there is so much more history there and so much more vitriol there, that what Liverpool have done, in my opinion, is a much better and a very well done way of building a team and building a squad on how they've done it over the years, opposed to City just dumping loads of cash at it. They didn't necessarily do that with Klopp and with Salah and Mane, and Van Dijk was really their biggest purchase. But you know what? If that's their biggest purchase, he's the best defender in the Premier League. So make that, So that's where I think it's entirely different in my eyes as a United fan. But since we're on the topic, I got the 180-page financial report. Being that I own my 7 shares of stock in Manchester United, I got the 180-page financial report. I did vote all of the Glazers out on my stock option to do so. They'll still be in charge. It's only like 30% that's on the shares. Yeah. But yeah.
So one real quick thing to finish up the Chelsea part is that there is a bright spot, and that is that the Chelsea women claim a title.
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. Don't you worry. I added it because I think the Chelsea owners went, oh, thank God we have somebody. That's good.
Yeah. And the reports are that a lot of the current infrastructure for Chelsea is going to remain in place for at least another year to 2 years. So that means we will have our wonderful transfer negotiator, Marina Granovskaya. She's staying for at least another 2 years. Then
whatever happened to the trainer that was on the side of the?
Oh yeah, the
Gibraltar goddess.
Yeah, the Gibraltar goddess.
Gibraltar?
She moved on after she got fired by Chelsea and joined the private sector. I have to look her up, see what she's doing.
They should bring her back.
Mourinho. You bring her back. All right, well, moving along. Speaking of that battle for third and fourth, Arsenal beats Leeds with a win on Thursday against rivals Tottenham. That would seal the deal. That would confirm them for Champions League for the first time since 2016-2017. Arsenal get the job done as they beat the struggling league, stay in the league. Hold on a second. Let me try that again. Arsenal get the job done as they beat struggling to stay in the league side Leeds on Sunday to go 4 points clear of rivals Tottenham following their draw away to Anfield the day before. But with a crucial match for a Champions League spot on Thursday against the two, will the Gunners be able to hold their place in those coveted top 4 places? But here's the thing. Here's why everybody who's wearing red is smiling. We obviously want to win the North London Derby, but we don't have to necessarily to still be in the Champions League. And that's about the best spot that no one would have thought we were going to be in the first third of the season. So I want to win. Don't get me wrong, but our fate's still in our hands, even if we don't. That's a good place to be in.
I think it's possible. And I don't mean mathematically. I think you're going to end up in third because our schedule is going to be too tough. And again, we're playing, like Liverpool, we're playing on multiple fronts, and we don't play like a third place team. So I really honestly think Arsenal's going to end up in third.
I mean, if they can beat Tottenham, I would say maybe. I think fourth. Well, for one thing, fourth would be great. Obviously, being in third would be awesome too, but fourth would be great. To be in a position where we don't have to beat Tottenham is huge. They're playing better, although they kind of have an up and down thing here and there where it's hard to put a handle on Tottenham.
Do you guys
sometimes they are on fire? Sometimes they are not. So it's a very
you're
dependent.
You're also playing away at Tottenham, which
difficult.
Away, Arsenal have not been particularly good this year.
No,
at home you have been, and you have one home game left. That's on the last day of the season, but that could also be for survival for one team in that of
Actually,
Everton.
Ferris, would you like a good old Arsenal stat from Orbinho?
Oh, why not?
Oh, can't wait.
Arsenal earned 28 points at the Emirates last season. With one game to go, the Gunners have picked up 38 so far this season. Only Man City at 46, Liverpool at 42 have earned more on home soil this season so far.
Right. That's exactly what I was saying. On home soil has been solid.
Yeah.
Away from home,
you just didn't have the
so
numbers, and I thought you might appreciate.
God
them.
bless your
That's for thank you or at Orbinho, a wonderful statistician on Twitter. Love following this guy.
So can I interrupt real quick? The Gibraltar Goddess
Yep, go ahead.
is working in London as a orthopedic and sports medicine, I guess trainer or physio. And she also works for a sports medicine. We're all having trouble today.
Yeah, we are.
Sports medicine hospital in Qatar as a private consultant. And she'll be at the 2022 World Cup.
Lovely.
She's doing great. It's on you, Mourinho.
Who did you say, Blake?
George A. Mourinho.
I think I'm a special one.
That guy.
I mean, that's he is the special one.
Oh boy, is he!
Oh boy, is he! I don't know. To kind of end the third. I think Arsenal will finish in 5th, and I think Tottenham will finish in 4th, and Chelsea in 3rd. Now, who knows how it plays out? And I understand the math of it all. If Arsenal get in the top 4,
so they got to lose the next 3 games. You think Arsenal lose the next 3 games?
I didn't say that. 2 out of the 3.
They kind of have to,
but not all 3. No, but if they make the top 4, good on them. I do not think, though. I think you guys had unless you make signings like you did in this offseason that are so impactful, this is not going to be lasting. There were several controversies. Oh no, there were several controversies. Remember, this is the game that was pushed. So this is the rescheduled game. There were several instances of Arteta, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We forgot about that whole thing about some cheating and shambolics on Arsenal side with Ben White's trip, with Saka's pulling down of Azpilicueta in the box, with Roy out at Watford getting very heated in the post match with Arteta and his team on how they went about it. Arteta getting into the sidelines with Klopp. Now you can sit here and go, oh, that's all heart, that's all passion. You've had some outstanding play by Odegaard. You had some outstanding play by your goalkeeper in Ramsdale. But we saw what some injuries have done, especially in your backs position, to not really lock down this 4th place and put you guys in a position that is a little bit more not secured. And you're relying on a midfield right now of El Neni, Xhaka, and Odegaard, who's playing solid, and Nketiah on at top is playing very well, as well. Pepe, complete trash.
Well, he doesn't play much, which says enough about it. Like he's not part of the plan. And El Nini has actually been fantastic.
Yes, he has been. But my point being that depth on the multiple fronts, because you were on pretty much 0 fronts all year long, with the exception of the Premier League. With now, assuming that you guys will be in Europe one way or the other, whether it's the Europa League or the Champions League, to fight on all those fronts plus the league, that is going to really, I think, show cracks in a very thin one first squad, first choice of what Arteta wants to do. So those signings have to be as impactful as Ramsdale, as Tomiyasu, as the hair and the tats guy.
The signings that everybody trashed, and they all turned out to be great.
Well,
why did you get Madison? Well, who's Tomiyasu? Why'd you get him? Trust process, baby. Looking at
Well,
fourth,
hopefully-
maybe third.
And you guys even steal that from some other team. You stole that from the 76ers. God almighty.
Well, regardless of any of that, they have to make key signings in the offseason or they're going to be spread open with all these different competitions and not much talent in or depth on the bench. That's what it comes down to.
Hey, having a tough year because you're back in Champions League and need a little more depth. It's a good spot to be in. That's a good problem to have.
Has Kroenke figured out his lawsuit yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, he settled, remember? For
Oh, he did?
a couple of
yeah.
X million, billion, and the NFL paid most of it.
Ah.
Yeah,
We
because
guys
the
better
NFL
hope that
scared
the
to death that other cities won't,
Spotify owners
help.
buy them.
That's
right?
the problem. Yeah. The NFL is scared to death that if they didn't do that, that other cities would freak out when it comes time to stadiums and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a sham. Don't forget the NFL is a non-profit entity, guys.
I
Don't
know.
forget that.
It's such bull. It's
That is
total bull.
we could make a whole mini pod on that alone. Look. Moving on, number 4, Watford joined Norwich in regular. Look, God, what is wrong with us tonight? I haven't had enough beer. Watford joined Norwich in relegation, but who will still be the third to go? It's a big question because the boys in blue, led by Mr. Lampard, pulled it off, and as Everton win again. Wilfred Zaha's penalty in the 31st put Watford 1 foot into relegation, but it was Hussein Kamara's sending off in the 68th, which firmly planted 2 feet into the championship next season for Watford. 2 down, 1 to go, with 3 clubs in Everton, Burnley, and Leeds fighting not to be the last club standing when the music stops on May 22nd.
Oh, it's
Guys,
right
I kind of feel like Everton is gonna make it.
For
It
you,
feels like
for
something's happening there.
and for your sake, on that last day, you better hope that they're safe, or else Everton are going to put up a hell of a fight, and that could foil what you guys have to do as well. So I agree with you, Blake. I think they will be safe.
Oh, that's a tough one.
But I mean, the points are Everton on 35, Burnley on 34, and Leeds on 34. Now, Everton do have a game in hand, and Leeds have the worst goal difference by far with minus 35.
I was going to say what you just said is probably how the season ends.
Yeah, I
think
see it.
Because Leeds finally dropped down, it might just save the life of Burnley and Everton.
Well, Everton's next 4 matches, Watford on Wednesday. This coming Sunday, they play Brentford, and that's a game they could lose. Brentford's playing hard.
Yep.
Crystal Palace, that's a game that goes either way.
Ooh. Yeah, Crystal Palace. Yeah, no, they're not pushovers by any stretch to me.
And then Arsenal for the last match of the league, or match of the season. So I don't know. It's a complete possibility that they get strangled at the end, at least in the Crystal Palace, assuming Arsenal play and play well.
And what Burnley and what's his name? Michael Jackson has done for Burnley as
every time
as
I hear that in the news, I have to do a double take.
Right? You're like, oh, wait, what? No, oh, okay. Yeah, but what he's done in the league with this team has been absolutely extraordinary in terms of what you think about how our reaction was when Burnley fired Dyche.
Yeah.
That may have actually been a extremely smart move to keep them in the league. Well, that's currently the trajectory that they're on if they continue to play the way they have been.
Burnley's last 3 matches of the season: Tottenham on Sunday, then Aston Villa, and then Newcastle. That's not an easy schedule for your last 3.
No, it's not. Leeds last 3. Chelsea on Wednesday the 11th, so 2 days from now. Brighton and Hove on Sunday the 15th, and then Brentford on Sunday the 22nd.
Oh, It's going to be a crazy
squeaky bum time.
couple of
and,
weeks.
And
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much
You
all
guys,
three
it's down to
sectors of the league.
Everton has to beat Arsenal, and Arsenal has to win to stay in the Champions League for our last game.
It could be. It could.
Oh,
I don't think it'll play out quite that way. I think it'd be fun to see, but I don't think I think Everton might be safe by then.
Only time will tell.
Because
That's why they gotta play.
because
I
they
do
still have
agree.
that game in hand too.
The
I
game in
do
hand
agree.
is clutch.
That helps at this stage.
So if that happens, before we move on, here's my question: if Everton managed to stay up, how long does Frank Lampard get next season?
2 months and he's gone. He would probably lead my sack race.
But who are you gonna? And I mean, they had Carlo Ancelotti. Who are you gonna get?
Ole
I
Gunnar
know we say
Solskjaer is
that a lot.
available.
Did you? Just,
I couldn't say it with a straight face. Ask Ron. I couldn't finish it with a straight face.
I mean, but Ferris. I mean,
Experience in the league.
I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will end up back in Premier League someday.
Oh, I think he will at some point.
Unless he takes over another Netherlands. Is that where he's from?
No, he's
Norway?
Norway. Unless he takes over their national team.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see him coming back to Premier League.
I mean, listen, Big Sam is available. You know, he'll always go to the north. Great pies up there. He just, Sean
Great
Dyche
pies.
is actually available. You laugh, but at Everton, he would at least shore up their defense, which they've had a terrible time with. So who knows? And before we kind of move down the table real quick, do you guys know? Say what?
Oh, sorry, I lost you guys for a second. What was that?
I said before we start to move down the table, do you know 2 of the confirmed teams that are coming back up into the Premier League next year?
We've got the Cherries. They
are the second
Bournemouth.
team. Yep. To come back up. They are back, baby.
Oh, it's so great.
I'm so excited to have the Cherries back. I'll have to get another Cherries jersey. Always a favorite second team. Why am I forgetting who the other team?
Because they cleaned up the table so fast that they've just blown all sorts of like records and goal scoring and everything else. It's another team that we love. You guys got me a jersey from them.
Fulham.
Fulham, correct.
Oh, it is Fulham. Oh, okay, yeah.
Correct. And your teams that will battle for the playoff in that third spot are Huddersfield Town, Nottingham Forest. How fun would it be to have Nottingham back in the Premier League?
That'd be
That
so
would be
great.
great.
They take on Sheffield United. Love the Blades.
Yep.
Billy fucking Sharp could
I
be
knew
back.
that was coming.
Could be back in the Premier League. I don't even know if he's on the team still, but he could be back.
58 years old.
Love it.
Billy
Oh, let's go, mate. Come on. And then Luton Town.
Now, Luton Town would be rad.
Well, we
So
have 2
would
towns
Nottingham.
playing each other. So Luton Town and Huddersfield Town both play each other in that first round, and Nottingham and Sheffield play in the other. So we will see, and that's just as exciting as that's the billion-pound game that they play every year to see who kind of comes back into the league.
Back in my days of being a performer and working at Epcot in the UK section, I was friends with this girl whose like family were like partial owners in Luton Town. They were like, at the time, you're talking, this would have been 2008 or 9. She was like, oh, they just, we always go to the matches, it's a small little club, So I am kind of rooting for them a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see. But
however, if Nottingham gets in, what you have to add to the podcast board is what's his nuts terrible British accent, Christian Slater singing the "What a Rich Man from Nottingham Who Ride Across the River" from Prince of Thieves.
Yep.
That has to go into
the soundboard.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. But they are all vying for a spot in the Premier League, which sits as such. Manchester City on 86 points, as we said. Liverpool on 83 points, 1 and 2. That will go down to the last game more than likely. Chelsea in third currently, 1 point above Arsenal, who are in fourth. Tottenham in fifth.
Say it again.
Manchester United are in sixth, and they are absolutely the worst fucking team in all of the land, and absolutely terrible. And gents, let me read you. I don't know if you saw this. So I do a little predictions that I read off, or that I write every week for my current employer. And my prediction was as such for the Brighton and Manchester United game. Score prediction, 7-6 Brighton. Sure, Ronaldo will score a hat trick. Maybe Eddie has a few, but Dalot and Tellez will give up 7 because playing defense at those back positions are optional. And sure it was for those two dune bags. Wow. And you know what? Hold on. We're going to go real quick here. Everybody wants to lay on old fucking Harry because he's such a bad center back. No, what he is he's left out to dry by his actually right and left backs who are terrible. And when Luke Shaw's not there, you let in 4 goals to Brighton. And Ronaldo was laughing at midfield. He's like, I got to play with idiots because this is what I deal with. God, man, United's fucking bad.
What was it, Gary Neville or somebody put in the tweet about who the last time Ronaldo was at Man U, who he played with compared to now?
Oh my God, it's brutal. Oh, brutal. And and we failed to mention, and I will say it, United are officially out of the Champions League race, so they will not be in the Champions League, which means unless Ronaldo, if Ronaldo stays, it'll be the first time in like 20 years that the Champions League would not see Cristiano Ronaldo.
So Ferris, I feel like by the laws of nature, if you made a bet that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not going to get fired before Mikel Arteta, and you really thought Arteta was going to get fired first, and he did not, and in fact went on to be in the Champions League when Man U wasn't, I think we got to add something extra to your right.
No.
Are you sure that's not in the books, the bylaws?
No, it's not.
The footy betting process?
It's crazy how fast things changed right after that bet. No, it's definitely not. You know what? I hope that Ronaldo does leave though. I don't. If Ten Hag's going to build a team, I don't know if he's a part of that. And maybe United and Ronaldo part ways. He goes back into Portugal or some other team that is actually in the Champions League to finish off his career as he's up there. But who knows? He can go on for ages. But sorry about that little Manchester United rant.
I was amazed that you had nothing in your content about.
Well, because the other stories are actually relevant. United being terrible is not relevant. It's old news. They're fucking terrible for the past 6 months. Fucking Muppets. Oh, like, seriously? Oh, okay. West Ham are in 7th. They could easily get into any of the leagues, and I hope to God United play in that Europa Conference thingamajig league. God, I hope they do. I want to watch them on a Thursday at some irrelevant time as Tellez washes his ass across the pitch and lets in 4 goals from Zenit St. Petersburg, Mary School of the Blind and Deaf. God,
don't you watch that league on the Soccer R Us channel?
Oh my God, it'll be on like double pay-per-view. You have to pirate it through 4 VPN just to watch side of Manchester United.
ESPN 14
against some like Belgium 4th division team. Muppets. Sorry, Ryan, you're gonna have a horrible time.
So yeah, Ron's never had to edit an episode when Man U's had a really bad week. Let me tell you, they're a little bit rougher on the bleep sheet.
Well, what's funny is I haven't been able to take part in the conversation because from minute 50:45 to 53:40, all I've been doing is writing in the bleep sheet.
Anyway, sorry, Ron. I apologize. Wolves in 8th on 50 points. Brighton on 9th, 47. And Palace currently round out the top 10 on 44 points. We have Villa, Brentford, Newcastle, Leicester, Southampton, all seemingly safe and in that order. And then we hit who we have been discussing prior to my United rant and the other things we talked about. Everton in 16th on 35 points. Burnley on 34 points in 17th. Leeds in 18th on 34 points. Watford already going down on 22 points. And Norwich City been down on 21 points.
Booyah.
Super
Does that bring us to Ron's delicious beer news?
Ooh, the beer news.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Where's your theme music? Don't you have theme music on here for it?
I do. What?
We got to make some theme music for you.
Yeah, I think we have.
It was it was
not.
it was the news alert. It was the beer news alert.
Oh,
Hey,
this one.
oh yeah.
It's this one.
You-
Ron's beer.
yeah, there we
news.
go. That's it. All the news there is to have news about beer.
All the news that's fit to print. Okay, gentlemen,
Here we go.
we are going to play a game.
Let's go.
Ron, that's it. All the news that's fit to drink. And
Oh,
then
that's
you play.
perfect.
That's what we're gonna record.
Okay.
That's it
All
right
the
there.
news that's fit to drink.
Oh,
I
the
like
news
it.
that fits the drink.
Boom.
Hello.
It's our new T-shirt.
But you need that like continental accent, right? That,
Yeah.
This is the beer news that's fit to drink.
Game beer news with Ron.
Put
All
5 on the
news that's
ponies
fit to
tonight.
drink.
Your roving reporter gumshoe about town. Okay, we're going to play a game
Let's go.
because it's the year of the World Cup. And we're all super excited about a wintertime World Cup.
You know what? I actually am excited. It's a great time of year, and it's only going to be added with World Cup soccer, right? Tons of food, drink, family, friends. Who knows? Who knows?
Nothing says celebrating the birth of the Jesus Christ like a sport that murdered a bunch of people who built stadiums in.
Who's more popular though, Pele or
just-
Jesus?
I'm just saying.
I would say Jesus by far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's,
That's the sad, yeah.
The
Anyways.
reports on deaths building some of the stadiums are
not-
pretty
not
like
good.
brutal.
Obviously. Yes.
So we're going to switch to this game.
I'm just saying that's why Roman Abramovich is like, hey, what does this? Why are you mad at me? Look at that.
I'm trying to broker
See nothing
peace.
behind this screen. Look at the other screen over here.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but last week was the World Beer Cup 2022.
Ooh.
That's right. I did. Yes, go ahead.
It's an every 2-year deal. So the last one was supposed
just like Arsene Wenger wants.
Oh my God. So the one in 2020 was canceled because of COVID.
You're welcome.
The winners were announced on Thursday, May 5th at the conclusion of the Craft Brewers Conference and Brew Expo. So here comes the question, gentlemen. Closest to without going over gets the point. How many total entries in the World Cup of Beer? Blake,
So
you're up first.
not for a style, just like all
Total
the beers.
entries. Total entries. Blake, you're up first.
I can't even fathom a starting point to think of all the countries, how much beer has gone. 15,000. 17,500. Final answer.
Ferris.
And you said without going over, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I can play
Closest
that
to without
Price's
going
name.
over.
I will go 1,504.
1,504.
1,504.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. 15,004. Sorry.
Okay. Neither of you get the point.
What?
10,542.
That's okay.
Wow.
All right.
But we were in the tens of thousands.
We were.
Yep.
All
We
right.
were. Okay.
How many breweries? Your next question, gentlemen. Also for for 1 point. Closest to without going over. How many breweries participated?
323.
2,720.
Oh. Neither of you get the point.
What?
But Blake was super close.
Oh, damn.
2,493. Nice and close.
Ooh.
Man.
I went low ball.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Next question. Also worth a point and closest to without going over. How many countries participated in the World Cup of Beers? Blake first.
It's 671.
Whoa, that's a lot of countries.
Are there even 600 countries in the world?
I don't know how many countries there are in the world. I don't know.
I don't even know if there's. I will 173.
Man, nobody gets it.
What?
57.
How many countries are there in the world? Now I want to know.
You
There's
guys-
a lot.
but not
Okay.
600.
670.
That's a lot of freaking.
I'm looking it up now.
You
Oh,
take into
no.
account
So
like
so far
planets
it's
and
still
solar
zero. So far it's still 0-0.
Yeah, yeah.
I will tell you that 226 judges from 28 countries participated.
Okay.
Judging took 9 days to complete, and they awarded 309 medals. One
And there are
gold.
195 countries in the world.
Yeah, Blake, you
You overshot that by just a
I at
little
least
bit.
was in the country realm under that.
So, like I said, judging took 9 days to award 309 awards, 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze per beer style category. So, gentlemen, your next question worth two points. And I'll give this one the closest to.
Okay. Ooh. Dun, dun,
Closest
dun.
to worth 2 points. How many beer styles are there in the World Cup of Beers? Worth 2 points. Ferris, you're up first.
37.
Closest to, even if you go over. Blake?
I'm going to tell you my thinking. My gut says for a World Cup, they might actually do less styles than like on a countrywide basis. And they might stick more traditional. I'm going to say, what was your answer, Ferris?
37.
I'm going to go with 14.
Okay, now if you're following it along at home, I actually gave you the answers to these already. If you could do the math.
Yeah, no, that's clearly there's 600 countries in the world.
195. I was close.
So 195. There were 103 beer styles. So that means Ferris gets 2 points.
But even then, I wasn't anywhere near it. Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, I wasn't anywhere near it.
Yeah,
But
you were the
resume is-
closest.
Yeah, but not by much.
The average number of beers entered per category was 102 beers per category, which is incredible if you think about it. So, gentlemen,
Mhm.
since we're talking about beer style categories,
Mhm.
what do you think were the top 3 beer styles? If you get any of these right, you get a point for each one. It's going to be difficult.
Blake,
though.
go ahead.
A Pilsner, IPA, and say a wheat beer. That's my dark horse choice.
When you say IPA, can you please be more specific?
Oh, there are hazy West Coast, East Coast,
Well, okay. If
Double.
it breaks it down
triple.
like if it breaks it from IPA to West Coast IPA to New England, I'm gonna say West Coast IPA then. Probably the more popular one, but that's America. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you come up with Pils, IPA, wheat beer.
Yeah.
Ferris.
I'll go Pils as well. I'll go stout, and I will go Belgian triples.
Ooh, trips. Okay, so being relatively fair, Pilsner was definitely one of them.
Let's go, Blake. Good
German
guess.
style Pils.
Yep.
So you each get a point for that one.
Thank you.
IPA, American style IPA is the first. Juicy or hazy IPA is second.
I'll
So,
accept Blake's though.
So that's
Okay,
where I was headed.
okay, all
So
right. I'll accept
I'll
Blake's.
give Blake a point for that one. Ferris, you do not get the point for that one.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have said I guess that's not knowing how they broke it down.
Yeah.
That there was American because there's so many
Juicy,
styles.
yeah,
in that.
they're-
But the
and they all
juicy
kind
was
of-
third. You said?
Kind of almost intertwine.
Say again.
Did you say juicy like hazy IPAs were third?
Juicy and hazy IPAs were second.
God,
American
I thought that was
IPAs
just
were
freaking
first.
Florida. Everybody making a juicy hazy IPA.
Oh no, that's
Right.
rampant in the north and the northwest.
Mhm.
It's rampant.
It is tasty. Like if people are sketchy on hops, those juicy IPAs make the hops palatable, and people really dig it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the current score after all of that is Blake with 2, Ferris with 3.
Where did Belgium's come in?
Oh, they weren't even on the list.
Damn it.
That's a shame.
They weren't in the top 6. Your top 6, Ferris, you were close. Number 4 were stouts and strongs.
Yep.
And then international lagers were 5th, and Munich style hells were number 6.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. All right.
That was your top 6 beer
See,
categories.
Munich style hells. Okay, that's cool. That's interesting. I need to look up what happened in the World Beer Cup this go round every 2 years,
what was
just
the
like
score?
Arsene Wenger says we should do in the World Cup.
Oh, God. What a nut
Blake
job.
with 2, Ferris with 3 for your final question. Worth all the points.
I'm going to choke just like Man United.
Who's going to be the champion of the whole world in Georgia too?
This one's going to be a tough one, gentlemen.
It's all on like a pot of neck bone.
In order.
What?
In order, what 3 countries had the most entries into the World Cup of Beers 2022? In order. This is tough. And we'll go with Blake first.
Top 3:
Top 3 in order.
America, China, Germany.
Ferris?
Yeah, those are good. Those are good.
I think Germany was a bad call, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I feel like they're so traditional. I don't know if they've got a ton of craft beers, but I feel like I had to put it in there.
Oh, man. I will go. China, United States, Australia.
Ooh. The actual answer, the United States comes in first place with 252.
Yep, okay,
That's a giveaway because it was held here.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So it's easiest for us to get all of our beers there.
True.
The second was Canada.
I was going to guess Canada. I was going to. Oh, why did I go US to Canada? I was totally going to.
Also because they were just across the border.
True.
From
Oh, I'm an idiot.
I don't care that they don't. No. I don't accept that, Ron. Yes, they're across the border. I do accept that. That is true. But they are population-wise much smaller, and craft beer is a thing that is a newer phenomenon there.
But
I am blown away and impressed by the fact that they are number 2 at this.
But
That's what I mean
we're
when I say
going to, well, I'll be in Canada here shortly. We're going to 2 breweries that Ron has mentioned on here that we're excited to go to in Forefathers and Flying
Monkey, right?
Right. And Collective Arts is there, and a whole bunch of breweries that they're making all sorts of interesting styles. And that's what we've had on the pod. So I thought about Canada. Yeah.
And then the third, Blake's got this one with Germany.
It was Germany. Okay.
So the top 3, United States, Canada, Germany.
Oh, and like a late comeback.
4, yeah. I told you, I'd bottle it. I should have gone with my gut.
So this goes 4.
Should have stuck with Ole.
4-3
Ole would have got me over the line.
4-3 to Blake as the winner.
Man, I was terrible. There it is. Yeah. I can't wait to get my studio hooked up. And then we've got basically 2 of those stupid sound pads with
dueling sound effects. So real quick, I know we've got to get moving here. So real quick, some interesting notable winners from breweries that we all like and know. Allagash Brewing won bronze for Allagash White in the category of Belgian style wit beer.
As God intended. I've got one sitting in my fridge after this.
Only to be outdone, Allagash won gold for their Belgian style triple in the Allagash triple.
So,
Yes!
I have to get a point because I guessed Belgian triples at some point on this.
Not for
No.
nothing,
Half a
Ron,
point?
but I got an Allagash triple sitting in that fridge,
I
too.
think I actually have one at home too because you had given me one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, man. Well,
Yep.
you should have one in honor of their win.
I might.
Woo.
I might.
Three more things of note. 1886 Brewing wins gold for their brown porter called Record Beer. That's a phenomenal beer. 1886, I really like. Highland Park Brewing from North Carolina, where Blake is from, wins gold for Hello LA, the International Pale Ale. And then hometown favorites, Ivanhoe Park Brewing,
That's
win a bronze
Yep.
for Halftoberfest, their Vienna style lager.
Mm.
Congratulations.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Only
Well,
Central Florida brewery to win anything.
Well, get this, gents. Highland Brewing is a favorite of mine from North Carolina, out in the west of Asheville, Carolina. About hour 45 from where I currently live. Turns out this new place I work over in Anakeesta is the largest seller of Highland beer outside of their.
Oh,
their
wow.
like they sell the most. When I walked into our conference room, has a giant, awesome metal cutout of their circular symbol, and I asked, "What is that for?" And they're like, "Oh, we're good friends with them. They do our beer. And they provide a lot of beer here.
That's
we
awesome.
have the Anarchy's got a bunch of different craft beers, but Highland does a lot of stuff with them. But they sell more Highland than anywhere else on tap.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Real quick before we move on to the Liga's roundup,
And then we got a zip.
Yep,
We're
and then
almost at time.
I'll fly through that. But we had a beer recommendation for the pod come in from our some of our friends up north, our friends down south. A beer that I don't believe we've ever had on the pod before, and not one that you would think. But Ron's future sister-in-law is a bit of a comedian, and said, "You know what? A beer that I think you guys should have on that I'm going to gift you guys that you never had on the pod." And we said, "What? Nothing like a."
Is that a Modelo?
Modelo Especial.
Oh my god, I could see it from the webcam.
Yes.
So real long story short, we went over to St. Pete, Florida, and had and watched a friend get married at the Don Cesar. And that place is pretty pricey if you get a room.
On St. Pete Beach.
Yeah. So everybody went to our local grocery store, and there was a special on cases for Modelo.
Especial.
So
Special for Especial.
they bought the grocery store out of all the cases. And so there were trash cans all over the resort filled with dead soldiers of Modelo. So they had so many that they gave us almost a case.
Just like PBR.
Yep.
There's a reason it's got a
You're not
blue
wrong.
ribbon. It's a reason it's called special.
You're not wrong. And you know what? if one of my favorite basketball players and Damian Lillard likes Modelo and has a commercial about him, it has to be good. So to my boy Dame.
Dame.
All right, to the Liga's roundup.
Oh,
the taste of special and gold.
Ferris.
God, I love it. Well, Skiddly D, would you look at thee?
Oh, Jesus.
They are still battling over in Italy as AC Milan maintain their 2-point lead over Inter Milan. As AC Milan beat Verona 3-1 on the weekend, and Inter Milan beat Empoli 4-2 on the weekend. Now, with only 2 matches left in Italy, it is a 2-horse race for the Scudetto.
A 2-horse race.
Olivier Giroud could win the Scudetto.
Well, and I had to throw a 2-horse race in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's why
we're I'm like 80-1 odds one. Anyways, AC Milan have Atalanta and Sassuolo left, while Inter have Juve in the Coppa Italia final on this Wednesday, and then they have Cagliari and Sampdoria to follow. So a very, very tight race over in Italy, and that's like really one of the or besides the Premier League, the only other top 5 league that has yet to kind of really determine who their champion will be. Well, Skiddly D, would you look at thee? In the States, the Seattle Sounders become the first MLS team to win the CONCACAF Champions League last week as they defeated Mexican side Pumas 3-0 on the night and 5-2 on aggregate in front of a CONCACAF Champions League record crowd of 68,761 at Lumen Field in Seattle. Well done, Sounders.
Wait, we have a sound effect for that. I
We
could
do.
just play that. Why am I clapping? Now I got to find it.
Well done, Sounders. Well done. Well done.
Well timed.
Exactly. So with the brace from Raul Rui Diaz and the finishing shot from Nicolas Lodero, the Sounders not only win the elusive trophy, but earn a very massive win for the entire MLS. As for the past 13 years and an additional 9 tacked on, the U.S. have failed to win this tournament. Now, this style of the tournament, which is called the CONCACAF Champions League, has never been won by a U.S. team. It's only been won pretty much by Mexican sides. 9 years prior to that, before that, it was called the Champions Cup. And the last U.S. team to win that was back in 2000 with the LA Galaxy. They were the last team to officially, U.S. team to host what is known as like the Continental Cup for us.
So real quick, just for clarification, is the CONCACAF Champions League basically the exact same thing as the European Champions
Correct.
League? Got it.
So the what Chelsea won the FIFA World Club Cup.
Yeah.
Seattle will be in that next year playing whoever
Right. Gotcha.
wins the
Just for
Champions
clarification.
League. Yeah. So either Real Madrid or Liverpool might play.
Seattle.
So well
Seattle versus
done,
Liverpool.
Sounders. Absolutely. Well done, Sounders.
Seattle versus Liverpool.
It's possible. Very, very possible. So well done, Sounders. Awesome job. Not looking too good in the league, but still a very, very long year in the MLS. Well, Skiddly D, when you look at our Orlando Pride got their first win of the new season on the road yesterday, which was a 1-0 victory over the new girls in town, Angel City FC.
Which was kind of a lucky goal. But
was. We'll take it. Sid LaRue's early goal in the 3rd minute was enough to earn all 3 points. But a lot of the news coming out of this weekend was Alex Morgan's 4-goal performance the day before against New York, New Jersey, Gotham. She put on a show, and there's a lot of people that can give her slack for the Pride and her, her being injured a little bit and a lot of the call-ups and yada, yada, yada. But one thing that we always noticed here was her work rate off the ball, and her finishing touch is absolutely spectacular. And she showed every bit of that on Saturday night against one of our former goalies in, what's her name? Ashlyn Harris. Now, a lot of the other news, though, was the Challenge Cup final that North Carolina Courage beat the current league champs in Washington Spirit. Now, why it got so much news was not because of that 2-1 result, was because of various other headlines, which mainly at the league and the refs. They missed several blatant calls that were completely missed. My girl, Ashley Hatch, did her best Latin impression and basically put studs to I cannot remember the other player's name's chest and did not even receive a yellow or anything. The Washington Spirit players had to run a medical, what are those things called? Like the gurneys, not the gurneys, but the beds that they put them on?
Stretcher,
thank you. They had to run one of those onto the field because the medical response team, which was very limited, I think it was only one person there, was not getting it out to the field fast enough for what was a seemingly serious injury at the time. So between the missed calls, between lack of support and lack of proper professional help there, the league got absolutely hammered by players, by pundits, by fans of just absolutely not appearing to be a professional league in this manner.
So the question is, would they have started the match for men if there wasn't proper support personnel.
No clue.
That's
But-
where that's going to go.
what people are misunderstanding is these are professional refs because they all are part of the VAR
The pro,
club in Premier League and came over here and ref that one game.
Yeah, but if you don't have the proper medical personnel, why did you start the match?
But that was a funny joke, Ron. Don't go back to serious things. I was being asshole, and he totally blew over my funny joke.
But
You're
it's something that as this league continues to grow, we're up to 12 teams now. There are a lot of and you know in the various
together.
Exactly, the various abuse, the various harassment scandals, which have plagued some clubs like Portland and Washington. There's a lot that the NWSL has to figure out and has to figure out quick as this league is growing. It's gaining in popularity. It's gaining in support. And if the league is not capable of stepping up to that plate, then who knows where this league will go forward.
It's all right, bro. Natalie Portman's here to save the day.
Very true.
She's going to start cracking heads and taking names.
Love it.
She's here to save us.
Well, skiddly D, would you look at the... Over in England, the Chelsea women won the league title 1 point over Arsenal ladies on Sunday. Go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back there.
Yep.
Man. Sam Kerr's off the chest trap to set herself up for a wonder strike of a volley, which put the finishing touches on a wonderful season for the Blues as they won 4-2 over Manchester United ladies. That goal, if you have not seen it, go to YouTube or wherever and watch that goal. It was the fourth goal in the game, the second by Sam Kerr on the day, and that is a special, special goal. Absolutely beautiful.
What's crazy is she's had about 4 special goals this season, not including
her
that
first goal was almost just as beautiful.
And she just keeps giving quality goals. It's incredible.
And she was the golden boot this year on 20 goals and really helped to propel Chelsea FC women to their 5th league title.
Yes.
And then to round out the top 4 in the AFWSL, Arsenal finished 2nd, Man City finished 3rd, and Man United finished 4th. Finally, we were remiss not to mention last week the sad passing of football super agent Mina Raiola back on April 30th. Agent and friend to the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Erling Haaland, John Lugio, Donnarumma, who's the AC Milan young Italian starlet, Paul Pogba, and several other footballers. Raiola was only 54 years old when he passed. Despite what you may have thought of the controversial super agent at times, his dedication to his trade and his impact on the sport of football as a whole will forever be remembered in the world of football.
Sad times for that one.
And that is your Alika's Roundup.
All right, gents. So I think it's time for us to wrap up. Before we end, time for a spooky story. I texted the guys this information, but I now live in Eastern Tennessee. And I texted Ferris and Ron freaking with my core shivering as a few nights ago, I took my little 17-pound dog out for a walk at 10:30 p.m. at night to go do his business, which he did, and he was still being feisty. And I was like, well, I'm just going to walk around the apartment complex as they put us up in this little apartment complex while we're waiting to find a house. And we walk about 40 yards we've gone just past our complex. It's a little dark. I'm in between a couple of mountains. It's Gatlinburg. And a friggin' black bear walks out in between 2 cars and just stares at me dead in the face. I did not know what to do. I was 20 feet away. I swear to you guys, I had that moment of like, if I let the dog go and I run, there's a house to my left. Can I go up the steps in time? They may not open the door. Can I jump to the window?
Wow.
Triangulating everything I could possibly do, knowing that I had just read a statistic saying black bears run 35 miles per hour. And I was like, just started slowly backing up as my dog's like, grrr. And that dude just shrugged his shoulders, shoved the white car a little bit with his paw, and then walked up the hill, disappeared into the night.
Wow.
And I tried my damnedest to get a Black Bear beer for this, which I'm sure exists around here, but I couldn't find one for this episode.
Be nice
But I just,
porter.
but literally I was like, and I texted you guys the Brutal Game thread because I opened my phone and it's like around the top and my pinned threads are like you and my wife, but I knew my wife. Oh, here's the other thing. I knew her phone had died. She was like, I knew her phone had died when she went in to go lay down with our kid. So I was also like, I can't even, who do I call?
Right.
I'm like, what am I doing over here? Yeah.
That's definitely a heart starter, right?
Oh, that's a heart stopper. That's what that is.
There's a whole organization here that hands out pamphlets for what to do when you encounter bears stuff. And it's the stand up, don't look straight in the eye. And of course, I was frozen, and he was 20 feet in front of me, and I looked him dead in the eyes, like, oh crap, you're not supposed to do that. I'm doing it.
What did
Just
what did your 17-pound dog Tucker do in the moment?
so normally with dogs and stuff and horses, he just dropped and was going grrr. It was totally different.
That's different.
Like he froze, and I was like, "Oh crap! He knows this is bad.
He knows he is severely
outmatched
and outweighed by far."
Yeah. So now when the sun sets, I stay on this one side of the apartment complex, and I'm like, "Sorry, dude, this is as far as we're walking."
Yeah, I don't blame you.
The sunset is all it is. That's all it is. So.
Oh man. Well, glad you weren't chicken fingers for a bear
and eaten by a black bear.
Yeah, amen to that. All right. So follow us on thebrutalgame.com. You can follow us on Untapped. You can follow us on Twitter, all that jazz. Facebook's, Instagram. If you leave us a review on either Apple Podcasts or however you listen to us, take a screen grab, get it in our DMs. We'll get a fun, maybe a koozie or magnet out to you. And then that's it. And last but not least, because that bear literally walked out like a horror movie, it got me back into thinking about horror movies because I used to work in making horror stuff. And I discovered an interesting fact. Did you know that the character of Dracula in horror films has never been rebooted? Did you guys know that?
Go on.
He's only been revamped. Thank you and good night, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to The Brutal Game.
Oh, all right,
Have
gentlemen.
for you. Love the beer, cherish the game. The Brutal Game.
Harry Maguire still sucks.